Baba is you, where we've got a few lettered stages to do. But also, I'm pretty sure I was wrong about something I said in one of the earlier levels. I was like, oh, it should be easy enough to just, now that we have the word level, just say something like level is rock. But of course, friends. We already have at the bottom right there, level is level. So that will not be allowed. Fool that I was, I forgot the very basics of the tenets of everything, but we should probably just go clear these lettered stages before we go. Sorry. What kind of Admiral am I? Do the larger one first. Clear up some of these stages before we go fretting about what all the tenets of these lands are. Okay, so we have written instructions. Wall is stop, Baba is us, wall is not us. Kiki is defeat, skull is defeat, wall is wall, Baba is not win. And we have the right keyword here, which turns an object into a word. Skulls and Kikis are defeat for Baba here, because Baba is us, wall is wall, and is not us. Okay. So I'm seeing if we said Kiki right Baba somehow, then we could get another Baba word, and then perhaps we could do some kind of cross situation with Baba is win down here, except we only have the one is, and even if we could move it, we would end up with Baba is you, and then the win wouldn't be able to get up that far. Clearly there is something quite interesting going on with this situation here. Naturally, Kiki is you will do nothing because it will explode as soon as being us. I gather there's a level word over here, but accessing it would suggest that you can do something to get the walls out of the way. The gap here feels pertinent. Of course, it sort of stops being one quite quickly here, but if you had, for instance, right in between these two things here, it would get stop rights win. Oh, does it work that way? Can you say rule rights word? No, sorry, it has to be an object. Silly me. Let me actually go over to B first. Because it feels like it's going to be a bit of an evolution type dealio, where it takes you in a particular path. So write the rules. This is our second mission involving the word right. Currently water is sink. We got wall is stop. So if we were to get in there, we would have to sacrifice one of these words. Such as this one. Then rocks are no longer push, but we can say rock right push and get a bunch more push. And why would we want that? I don't know. Maybe with all these we can sink enough water for this to be good, just with all these words? Yeah, we probably can. From the ashes of the rocks, the words and the letters and the glyphs are reborn in such a way that we can use them to sink all the everything. Excellent. All right, that one's not too tricky. I worked that one out fast enough. I don't know if we're going to get much farther than these lettered ones this episode, by the way. Now, rewrite the rules. So what was it? It's do it yourself, write the rules, rewrite the rules, written instructions. Okay. Bird is stop and shut. Wall is stop, bird is stop, Baba is us, rock is open, water is sink, flag is win, rock is push, bird is shut. Has been a minute since I recorded this, so I gotta get back into the space of it. Stop and shut. So you need something to be open when you get that far, or it needs to be pushable. Also, currently it's another situation where we'll have to sacrifice something to get on in here. Presumably what we want to get rid of is something more like... okay. Brain is braining slightly. No, maybe not. I was thinking one wanted to say something like rock, right, rock to start with. So yeah, okay, that does work. Then the object down there turns into the word rock, so that we can guilt-free get rid of one of these. And then go and say that fruit is rock and get this word back. And I wanted that so that we had a rock and we were in here. So we got the rock from in here, so to speak, in a sense, but still had two rock words to say push and open. Except that is only for getting through the bird, so I started what I'm doing with the rest of it. I mean, I guess we don't need the right word anymore. W-R-I-T-E. Slash. If I'm reading this correctly, we're going to need to sacrifice 3 things to get in here, which means we only have 3 words before the rock. Because we seem to have just enough 1, 2, 3. Rock opens the bird 1, 2, 3. If that is the correct way to think about this. So obviously we are unlikely to need right anymore. Well, I say obviously, but it would seem to me that rock is push and open are still necessary, and that they would both need to be on at the same time to unlock that bird. But then, given how right-centric this all is, you would think the right would just kind of, like, stick around and be an important part the whole time, right? But as soon as I get rid of one of these, we no longer have ground to stand on when it comes to pushing the rock into here as a key. Naturally, if I got rid of rock and push, we could say that rock is open, but can't push it. Right, so I must have missed something to do with right earlier, is what I suspect. Bird is stop and shut. We can't use the object to write, right? I can't say rock right and then use the wall, no. And saying something like rock right open makes the object turn into that, correct? So it does. I cannot yet see why we'd want another push or open. It seems like rock, right, rock would be the only thing. Like, if I wanted a second open, it's only so I could sync the first one, and if I could do that, why wouldn't I just sync it with whatever it was originally? And as best as I can figure, this whole fruit is situation here is literally just to make you transform it one single time. You can't put right in there. I could say fruit is rock, fruit is push, or fruit is open, essentially. And that's push or open, and as far as I'm understanding the rules here, we would need to have push and open on something for it to unwall this bird. Unshut it. That felt really right when I did that. Saying rock, right, rock, and then using a rock to open this. And then saying fruit is rock so that we get like the rock out of there. You know what I mean? That feels right. I could get another one. And because in theory what this allows me to do is have the thing that we have enough words to say is open and push on this side, but only for a time, for a breath, and then it fades. What else can I use right for that I'm not? Because that'll inevitably be what it is, right? Right? Being it's sort of the central mechanic of these 4-lettered levels so far. Right isn't like has where you can... Oh. Or is it? Wait, he's gaming? That doesn't make sense, does it? I was gonna say if you had two things on the same spot and had them say they write something, could you make like more? Well, I guess you're just saying it twice, aren't you? You're not like doing it twice. Not that there's any rocks with which to write at this point. Maybe that wasn't totally awfully wrong. Let's say rock, right, rock. Get it through here. Get this rock word on top of the rock. It's not quite right, is it? There would need to be two rock words on one another. Why do I think I want this? Oh, interesting, it can sync both at the same time. I didn't know that. I thought I wanted it because what I was saying was right can't make more than one object at a time. Or, you know, like, ooh, wait. Is there such a thing as saying rock is rock as well as rock right open at the same time and it creates like two objects? Because that's what I'm starting to feel like it is. Because I'm in a situation where it's like the problem is I don't have enough objects. So clearly I just have to do something to make more objects. Surely. With the words I have. And then I recalled that thing in the lovely house or the skull house, whichever one it was, where we used the same thing to do like a is this way and an is that way to do two is's at once and therefore create more than one object. And I suppose if you could say rock write something and is something at the same time, surely it becomes another object. More than one object, in fact. At the same time, it becomes one of those words and another rock. So for example, if I put right open and is rock here and then I slot the word rock in, does that mean that we get... The hope here would be that this rock turns into a rock and the word open at the same time. No, it doesn't like you doing both. Okay, that's me told. Okay, however, now this isn't very helpful because we lose the rock that should be open at that point then, but just because it's something we haven't done before and it seems to have some form of distant utility. Oh no, how would we orchestrate those both at the same time, huh? Right, we would do something like this, and then go boosh, and then it would become push and open at the same time. Oh, if they're on the same spot, that doesn't really help, though, because they still only count as one explodable. Can't shake the feeling it could pertain, though. Oh, hang on a minute. What if I... Oh, no, that won't work, because then I run out of things. I was going to say, open the water and then say, rock, right, rock with one of the things on the rock here. And then say fruit is rock, hopefully twice, and get two rocks. I feel like it's got to be something we're doing like that multiplies the number of objects we have at our disposal, right? If I do it this way, I cannot get the two words rock onto the same spot. And if I got the second, if I turned it into a rock and then turned that word into rocks, we had rock on rock, then there's no longer a fruit to say fruit is rock, rock. Or fruit is rock, however you wish to put it. Which doesn't matter anyway, because if they show up in the same spot, they both sync. Right, okay, so that's not the problem. Or that's not the problem in that particular way, anyway. Oh, well, I suppose that actually may still... You know what? The thing I did where I got right and open on the same spot maybe still holds merit. Hold a tick. Because having them on one spot, we still did make more than we would have had. So we can push these individual ones just as fodder for the water and then still have the is open push on to use as far as the bird. Actually, I wasn't far off there then. Right, okay. I did feel like one of the things I've thought of so far had to be it. Now that I think about it, I think that's it. So we do this situation again. Actually, I'm not sure if this is the right time exactly, but... it's something like this anyway. We go boosh to get the open and push in the same spot. Do that to get through there. Use rock to get another rock. And then get that word out, because we now need it to say rock is push open. Yes, that should be fine and dandy, because now we get rock is open, rock is push. We get 3 words to use on the water, like so. We get the rock to open the bird. Give the bird a rock and it will fly away. And then we get these 3 things to go boosh, bash, boosh. I see. Pardon me, was there a word level in there somewhere? No, once we got it, we could have messed with bird is, but no matter. Okay, so did that help me at all for learning what to do here? I mean, maybe now I can use right in 2 directions and get things to happen that I would never have dreamed of. What are those things? Oh, you'll see. I don't know. I suppose if we got as far as doing something like this, then we could say something to the tune of Kiki right win, just to spitball on what our options are here. Like that. Oh, hold on. That may actually have some... That would be fine if this Kiki were on the same spot as my word you, but I can't push any of one of them individually. And if I were to try something so bold as Kiki is push, naturally it would push the U out of the way, because pushed things push things. Of course, if we were at this stage and I had some way to move all the 3 of these up, we could get it on the same spot, and then Kiki right win would win us. I don't really know what's the deal with the skulls. Oh, Baba's not win. He wouldn't be able to do that anyway. I see. Without getting rid of this. Well, that kind of makes it sound like that is what you want to do. Is why would this be available if you weren't supposed to break it? Comparing it to the other rules, but then also, it sounds like we can get out of here and do some more level is shenanigans, considering the word exists here. And by the way, what word would we want it to be? Would we want it to say level right something? Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, sorry, no, that's the other way around. I was going to say, couldn't we say level and rock is level? And we could, but I'm pretty sure we already did that. And I don't think it obtains us anything we didn't already have. Anyway, sorry, back to the mission. Okay, so the space here is obviously interesting, the fact that there's a space between these 2. Unless wall were not stopped, though, I don't really know how you'd get anything in between. If you push it to the right, it does this. Push it to the left, you get this. So there isn't actually even a way to do something right wall, at the moment anyway. Even if that was what we wanted, which it is not, because the wall word would not allow us to do anything. Would not allow us to do anything because we couldn't transform it into anything, nor say it was you. And we've already said that is trumps right, so you couldn't say wall right something to turn all these walls into a word, because the wall is wall would take precedence. I think we can probably agree that Baba right anything at the moment is not a good idea. Being that we lose our only playable entity. The heck is push for? Well, I suppose if we had right wall, we could say that wall is push, which would, in one school of thought, get us to this level. And to be abundantly clear, we cannot do right is, right? I'm pretty sure we tried this many times, and you cannot get another is that way. Even if you could, I don't believe we yet have a way. We still wouldn't have a way to move this statement except left and right. Oh, well, I suppose there is this. You could do something like that. Again, if you had you and win on the same spot. Because without an and, the only way to do with only one is and one of the specified object to do 2 is stack the adjectives, so to speak, on the qualities on the same area. Well, that's it, isn't it? That's the only way. So I feel like I wasn't far off with the idea of trying to get you on the Kiki and then Kiki right win. But if that were the only solve, then most of this would not be necessary. You would just have an alcove here with win in it, right? So I don't understand what all of this is about. Probably fair to say I understand precious little of what this is about. Okay. So we have very few words to mess with here, speaking broadly. There aren't many situations where we could use an is and a right. Well, we said is and right at the same time don't do anything anyway. Using two statements on an is fine, and two statements on a right is fine. Two statements on one on is, one on right don't really do anything special. We could also write stop. I have no idea why we'd want to. Well, it occurs to me that level right is, I was saying earlier, there's no way to get more words up here, which is flagrantly untrue. Now that we have the right keyword, we could say level right something, and then we get another entire word up here. I'm not sure which word we'd want in that case, but regardless, it's not for now, really. Win. I guess win would be the one. You would want to say level right win at that point. But that's for after I solve this puzzle, isn't it? Okay, so I'm feeling like... is how this ends. Because it's a way that this can be broken, and if Baba were us and win at that point, that would be it. So it does very much have the feel that the goal here, I think this level up here is just for stuff on the Crimson Flower. I don't believe that will actually help us do anything, because what level is push, level is... maybe level is you... well, if we had... nah. I'm pretty sure that's not what it's for. I think that's just for stuff up top. So the puzzle is genuinely just how do we get you and win on the same spot? And it really, to me, feels like it's Kiki on wall. Sorry, Kiki on the word you, and then Kiki right win. There's no way we could get right in here to get the wall word. If there was some way to get this win word out, then we could say something right wall, and then, again, we could say wall is put. Like, we could do Kiki right wall, wall is push, do some stuff. I feel like that happens somehow at some point. Skull and Kiki's defeat feels pretty immutable. This feels fairly immutable, yes. It doesn't override push. But that, I'm pretty sure we can agree that Kiki is never you, at least. So this is a statement we don't need to worry about. Likewise, Baba is Kiki doesn't really seem to help. And we just get two Kikis that we can't play as. Let me start with Kiki right Baba, because it's something I haven't tried, and I don't know if it'll be any use, but I can't really see how it would be. Unless we had another is, but if we did, a lot of this would not be a problem anyway. We can, in theory, do another Baba is statement. We said Baba is Kiki isn't much help. Baba is push doesn't appear to be much help. I don't think we want to turn the Kiki into a Baba. As in, have Kiki right Baba. I don't really feel that Kiki right you is anything big. Especially as it ends up on the same word, the same spot as you. That would only really be handy if we had another Baba and another you to swap it to a vertical statement. And even then, we'd have to swap it back at the end anyway. It does kind of feel like they want you to have more than one operator here, though, doesn't it? To do something with getting in the middle of text by, like, pushing it onto one of your others, your other selves. And again, it's a situation where you can now turn me into a Kiki and you as well, and we'd have all kinds of words, but to what avail? Oh. I have no idea if this is anything, but what happens if I get the right over there so it says Baba right not? Right not win. It doesn't appear to do anything, although it did light up. Baba right not win. I would expect that it would mean it would, like, write everything except win, but it didn't write anything. It appears to logically interpret that as not Baba right win. Not that I know how me turning into every word in the galaxy would help. Ooh, okay. I just had a bit of an idea here. I don't know what it's worth just yet. But if we said Kiki is push, just because I was talking about like getting stuff in the middle of stuff and whatever. Ah, I see the problem with this. We couldn't really do it from there. Okay, I was going to say to get Kiki down in there. Oh, well, that's fine. We can just move this out of the way. And then push the other stuff over it, such that we can get wall is the stop of wall on top of the Kiki there, and then say that wall Kiki right push, and then we get wall is push. That's something. So for instance, I mean, there are things that lets us do. I'm not sure what all they are. Oh, well, doesn't really give us access to win yet, does it? I mean, it lets us do the whole level right win thing, which lets us do some stuff on the overworld here. Well, actually, let me just do that now, just so we can have it there before I forget, inevitably. Boost, right level, right win, and then we get the win word here, and then we can... Oh, we can't even push that, huh? Ah, we'd have to push some other stuff. Actually, well, it's not that bad anyway. We didn't have to push anything, because we could just say, rock is win in place here. And as you can see, the rock, well, as you will see momentarily when I have this in place, the rock will start sparkling and we can get the baba there and it would be great. But that's a next episode kind of thing. Right now, I want to solve this puzzle. Okay, I don't get the sense that would never help. It does feel like it's probably going to be a different solution than the one we're doing to actually complete this level, doesn't it? But that is the level is solution, or the level right solution in this case. So that feels significant. Usually the level is stuff is harder than the actual solve though, right? So you would think that kind of has the sound that I, having figured this out, should be able to figure out the solve. Is it reasonable at this point to say level is win somehow? I don't really see how. And level is U doesn't really... Oh, well, that means I'm touching some defeat stuff, so it goes bad anyway. Again, the problem being that we can't move this stuff up and down, really. Unless we had more people to move. Level is push doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't make, like, everything push to the... No. And, of course, we can no longer do Kiki right wall. Well, we can, but there's no Kiki to do that. Which is a moot point anyway, because all we would want to do probably is say wall is push, which we've already said. So I do feel like, again, getting you and win on the same spot to do this feels correct. I mean, again, the fact that it's like at the end you're going to break this statement, because why else would the skulls be here instead of it just being more wall? So that would hasten to imply that if you're breaking Baba is not win, it's because you're going to say Baba is win. And at this point, since this is not retrievable, it's just that you're doing that before this point. And again, since you only have one you're doing that by saying Baba is you win. Which would suggest, again, you're trying to get you win, and the only way I can think to do that is have the U be on... Oh! Hang on. No, right, I know the problem with that. Because I already tried it. If you're trying to push the Kiki along with this statement... Oh, well, actually, that would get you on top of it like this, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. What I was gonna try and do was get it all the way to the right here and then have it end up on top of each other. And I was like, well, that will never work because then you won't be able to push it as soon as you break Kiki as push, which will happen right over here. But that's how you get Kiki on and you in the same spot anyway. So I solved my problem by trying to explain how I couldn't possibly solve my problem. Doink! And it was all 1,000 billion million times simpler than I had realized. Okay, there we go, we did it! Yay! So given we don't have this world complete yet, there's clearly one more stage at least to do. I would wager it's by making the depths here say is level. Like, our level is rock or whatever. And then turning that rock into a level. But given how scared I was of the depths the first time we went there, I think that's not going to be for now. I think what's going to be for now is the end of this episode. And at the beginning of next episode, we'll probably say that rock is win thing and then go up one tier from here. I did, in my sleuthing, learn how many worlds there were. So that is a detail that I am privy to. At least if my memory holds. But aside from that, I know very, very little about what actually goes on in them depths and the other world bracket we have yet to do. But that is all for now. Next video on the channel is going to be some more Persona 3 Portable. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I'll see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here now. Peace! Oh, you got it. So if you're doing it, you got to do it all at once. Okay. And do they only stay off balance for the end of Burr's turn? I couldn't, like, have him set someone on fire, have Yukari set someone to ice, and then have Junpei zap someone with electricity, if that was necessary.